All right, it is the holiday season. That means toy sales will be jumping. To explore what's driving the toy business this year, let's bring in our next guest, Lori Schacht. She's in here in person, President and Chief Toy Officer at the Toy Insider, and you even brought me some gifts. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I'll
play with these after the show.
I don't show up without toys.
This is big business toys.
It is.
And, of course, one of the things that was a big concern for a lot of people, supply chain issues, tariffs, talking about that. What kind of an impact is that having this year?
Not as big as we thought.
Really?
Different in the U.S. than Canada. I'll talk about both. More of an impact in the U.S., and everyone was so worried about what are the prices going to be. But what's actually happened is everyone in the supply chain has gotten involved. So from the retailer, the manufacturer, the factories, and everyone in between eating a little bit of those tariffs. In the U.S., we have single-digit increases. In Canada, and we're just talking toys now, barely at all. Because there's not a whole lot of Canadian-U.S. trade in the toy business.
In the toy business, they come in from China, they come in from Asia.
So it really has been something you haven't felt. Now, something interesting happening in the U.S. toy market is sort of this price strategy thing that no one's talking a lot about. But essentially, when you look at the preschool toys, the toddler toy, that young market, those prices are flat. And where they're hiking them up is more that adult, kidult collector. So that's where you're seeing larger price hikes.
Where they can make the money, because the people have the money and they probably have the hunger for those.
They have the hunger for it. You don't want to ever deprive your kids, right? So they're going out, they're shopping for their kids. They're not really feeling the difference in their pocketbook. And then open up that wallet because, I want the next Labubu or Star Wars or whatever it is that they're going after, and they'll spend the extra dollars.
And just how big a market is that with the kidults?
It's huge. Everyone's getting in. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. You have a lot of your bigger toy companies, Mattel, Hasbro, that have lines that are just for the adult collector. Hasbro has Pulse. Mattel has the Creations line that you can just go and buy direct. Lego has the Adult Collector Series.
I think Lego was probably one of the leaders for this.
Amazing. And even Jazzware's not public, but they have the Vault. So all of those, and that's all adult.
And is that a growing trend, or is there a worry this is just a phase?
Oh, no. So there's something new happening this year. Again, adult. Kids will get involved, but it's that whole K-pop. The Demon Hunters. So huge excitement around this. And you have Hasbro and Mattel for the first time as co-licensees on a single brand. So the monopoly from Hasbro is off the water and hitting shelves as we speak. And for Mattel, there's pre-orders going for the fashion dolls. You won't see them till next fall.
And they're pre-ordering now.
And the Funko has it all together. That's already on shelves.
And is this causing any supply chain issues? Are they managing to keep up with this? We talked about it with other industries for a while because of what unfolded with the pandemic and everything, but is this causing any strains?
No, you know what? At the beginning with all the tariffs, things sat. So there's a lot of product this year that's hitting shelves late, but it's not causing any major disruptions.
And what about the stores themselves? Who's moving toys right now?
Well, that's interesting because in Canada, there's a whole lot going on. So your big box stores, not doing so great. So let's talk about Toys R Us, TRU. They're down to just 40 stores with dozens of them up for sale. Mastermind, Indigo, they did great during the pandemic. Now they're kind of trying to find themselves. But then you have these great specialty stores. You have one called Cowtown Toys and Candy. One guy owns it. He's got over 30,000 SKUs in this store.
Wow.
And he keeps growing. So it's become a destination for families, and they're coming from like 2 hours away. You also have a store called Village Toy Castle. And this guy's trying to bring toy manufacturing back to Canada. Again, huge destination, one store, and he's got a retro museum there. So you have shopping, you have the museum, so that's a big deal. And then you have GameStop. which has now become EB Toys, single owner, but he's also a co-owner of Mastermind, Imports Dragon, and McFarlane Toys. So this is sort of a mass specialty because there's many of them. And the other thing that he's got is trading cards, by the way. That is a big place for toys, collectibles, and trading cards.
And trading cards are a huge demand right now, aren't they?
Huge, huge. So the trading card, let's talk about where the market is. The U.S. market is up 7% in sales, Canada, 17%. These numbers, by the way, are from Circana, just so you know. So in the U.S., of that 7%, 70% of that growth is coming from trading cards, all kinds. So whether we're talking about your Pokemon cards, which are on fire, the Mega Evolution, or we're talking about your NFL, non-sports, they are just on fire. Followed closely by collectibles, also up about 35%, and licensed goods up 14%.
All right, one last question, I guess. AI, NVIDIA chips, things like that. Are those factors at all? Shortages causing any issues?
I don't know that they're causing any issues. You know, when you're talking about the electronics in the toy industry, I mean, obviously it affects everything that's using those chips, but I think it's a bigger problem with grown-up electronics like, you know, cars and stuff. So I wouldn't say that it's going to make anyone lose any sleep. I think they're still going to be able to get their Nintendo Switch 2 or their PS5. I don't see any problems there.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, but thank you very much, Lori, as always, for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers. I was Lori Schacht, President and Chief Toy Officer at the Toy Insider.